run till you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Coming with a dank, scrolling that tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
It was a total team effort. I got 3 game balls. On offense, 23 carries, 139 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 catches for 31 yards, 1 touchdown. Broke the franchise record for touchdowns in the season. Jahymr Gibbs.
Appreciate y'all, boys. Couldn't do without y'all. Love y'all. Let's keep it going.
On defense, 5 total tackles. All right. 1 pass defended, only gave 18, had 3 catches. Mr. Amik, Robertson.
I mean it from the bottom of my heart, man. I appreciate y'all, man, because y'all gave me a chance to showcase what I could do when they tried to bury me, dog. But they can't bury what come from the dirt. Hey, let's get that big one, man. Let's keep on working, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
I got 1 more on defense. 7 total tackles. 1's quarterback hit, 1 pass defense. Welcome back, Anzalone.
Hey, every time you get this is a team award, but defense, I'm proud of you today, man. I'm proud of the defense today. Just for y'all. Appreciate you. Love you.
It's a hell of a win, man. Back-to-back. See, what we've done is not easy. It's not easy, but I'm telling you what, man, we've said it all along. We got a special group, man, and this has been coming a long time. That's a lot of hard work, and we are the #1 seed with a bye, gentlemen. Great job.
Hey, be proud of this. This is just step 1. This is just step 1. We're on to bigger and better now. Proud of you guys. Love y'all. 1 on 3, 1 on 3. Put that down on.
Dubsky in the fucking chat from the man himself right there, Penny Sewell. Oh my God.
Go, baby.
What a win by the Detroit Lions last night, man. Fuck the Vikings. Get out of here. Fraudulent, exposed, and sent down to the 5th seed. So shout out to that. Shout out to all of you in the Woodward Sports Chat for joining us. He is Nicholas Kohloff. I am Spencer Raxter. Chris Platty in the TD booth. Platty Pods. We got Kool-Aid joining us shortly in the sound booth. But we are the Woodward Heavyweights. Nick, what a win from the boys.
Oh my God. What a day to be able to fill in for Easy, who's sick, and hopefully he feels better tomorrow. We'll keep you guys updated on that. But what a day to be in here. I got emotional last night when I was inside of Ford Field. Everything just felt like everything came together in this game for the Detroit Lions on defense specifically. I know we're going to get into the ins and outs. Big plays after big plays and big stops from this defense that everybody doubted.
Yep.
And Aaron Glenn specifically. What a game.
We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, Aaron Glenn, we're going to get into that. Amik Robertson, his performance. Alex Anzalone, his return. Jahymr Gibbs, 4 tutties. We got a lot to talk about, but the first things first, Nick, the Lions swept the NFC North.
Dogs.
FTP, FTB, FTV, FT, all of them. The Detroit Lions are the kings of the North once again, back-to-back NFC North championships for the first time in franchise history.
Absolute dogs. That's what this Detroit Lions team is built on. And this was such a great game last night. And I got to say to all of these Vikings fans that was talking so much shit, go back to Minnesota. It's been 833 days since the Minnesota Vikings have beaten the Detroit Lions.
Sheesh.
And they talk all that shit.
Yeah.
I was there last night. I was talking shit back to him, back and forth. This guy was puffing on a heater. I said, you're going to be puffing on a bunch of them, sipping whiskey tonight when you're sulking away after the L. And that's exactly what happened.
It's just the Vikings got shown for what they are. Pillow fucking frauds. Like, see you later, Minnesota, because you're going to go to Los Angeles and you're going to lose to the Rams. You're not even going to make it back to Detroit. But if they did, oh, how sweet it would be to slap that ass around again in the playoffs. Vikings, you guys are frauds. I never want to hear about you again. Sam Darnold, that's the guy you're paying $50 million for. Guy didn't know what was going on. He was scared. He was seeing ghosts. He was overthrowing everybody. Oh, my God. That was one of the most satisfying wins I've experienced as a Lions fan.
I have never seen a quarterback choke so hard like Sam Darnold did in this game. Pressure was getting to his head. He was seeing ghosts, Benny. It's exactly right. He was overthrowing everybody, underthrowing. He couldn't find a single wide receiver, and a specific wide receiver who might have been drinking, maybe driving on his way to the game. Jordan Addison, 0 catches, absolute bum.
Yeah, I had as many yards as Jordan Addison had last night. Some say he's better than J-Mo. The Vikings fans try to say, oh, he's better than J-Mo. No, he's not. That shit's dead. Most important game of his career, 0 yards. So see you later, Addison. Go have fun doing with driving your dog to the vet or whatever your excuse was. Dude, oh my God, it feels so good to beat your rivals, to manhandle your rivals, and to just own the North.
And speaking about owning the North, one team that thought that they still own the North, the Packers, 1-5 in the division. That's supposed to be the Kings of the North. Love to throw some shade at the Packers, too, while we're at it. Losing to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, just pitiful performance. The Packers finishing with the same record in the NFC North as the Chicago Bears. You guys are poverty. You suck. Jordan Love sucks. Good day, sir. Goodbye. Chris, how'd you feel about that win?
Dude, I was at Second Best Bar. Shout out Second Best Bar.
Shout
it was
out.
a lit atmosphere, and you know what? This was a special moment to see the city just galvanize like this, and you really had no doubt. One bar said, "Hey, Sam Darnold's going to throw you one of them a game." Well, he did that like 45 times.
Yeah, he threw a lot of them.
He threw a lot of them this game. And you know what? Credit to this Lions defense. We talked about it endlessly, that red zone defense. And I know we're going to get into specifics, but just the statement that this game was defensively going forward, how can you not feel confident with the Lions? This is crucial. They had a bye week, week 5. Remember the stat we said at the beginning of the year when the schedule came out. No team has had a bye week in week 5 and won the Super Bowl. Well, now they got their second bye week. This was much needed. Not only did you need that home field advantage, you needed that bye to rest up, to get healthy, to just have maintenance for this team. So this was a huge win, impressive win. It was everything it needed to be. So a great performance by defense. I know we're going to get into the X's and O's later.
Yeah,
but wow, what
it was
statement.
an amazing performance by the defense. It was an amazing scheme, and we talked about it on the watch party. What Dan Campbell says one of his first speeches, when he talks about you just got to get them out in the deep water, tread water enough until you can bury them. Kevin O'Connell was in the deep water. Kevin O'Connell was in Ford Field, NFC on the line, NFC North on the line, head coach of the year on the line, and he drowned because he tried to do what defeats him. He tried to play Dan Campbell ball, and you're not that guy, pal. He tried to go out there and go for it on 4th down. We're going to score a touchdown here. We're going to do this. And every single time it failed. Dan Campbell knows what he's doing, and he makes you act out of pocket. Kevin O'Connell was not the Kevin O'Connell that got them to where they were yesterday, and that's because Dan Campbell was standing on the other sideline, and Dan Campbell owns residence rent-free in every single head coach's mind in the NFC North. None of them know what to do when Dan Campbell's lined up across from him, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, he flat out lost to the better coach yesterday. That's what happened in this game. And I don't want to hear a single word about Kevin O'Connell being the coach of the year anymore. That's dead. And just because the Lions were expected to be good doesn't mean that Dan Campbell should not win head coach of the year. I think he absolutely deserves it, and I think he will get it, honestly.
I think he's good. He better get it.
He has to.
He has to get it. That was a game. They went out there and just took their souls, man.
Yeah.
There was nothing that they could do. Every time we knew it. Everybody knew it. The entire stadium knew it. Everybody watching knew it. They're like, 4th down and 2. Wonder what's going to happen here. 4th down and 6. Wonder what's going to happen here. They're going for it. They're trusting their guys, and they're making things happen. And it's just beautiful to see.
I know we're going to dive into Aaron Glenn in a little bit here, but yeah, just specifically on the defensive side of the ball, to step up so big in this game, currently sitting at the number 7th ranked defense in the NFL. That's what AG has this group
Wild,
doing.
man. Wild.
With all of the injuries.
Vikings fans told me we were the worst defense in the league.
That's what they said.
That's what they said. And, your high-powered, vaunted offense couldn't get in the end zone against us.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson.
Where's he at?
Jordan Addison.
Where are they at?
All of these weapons and nothing to show for it. How many touchdowns did they score, Spencer?
0, I believe.
What was that? Did Jahymr Gibbs just score another one?
I think he might have. Honestly, if we check Ford Field right now, he's probably still running in for another one because that guy is just amazing. And the return of Anzalone on this defense, it made a palpable difference. You could see how much that guy meant for this team, and it's just amazing to see them coming together now. You get the bye week, you get some more rest because Terrion Arnold did get a little banged up there, but he said himself he's playing, don't worry about it. They said the x-rays were negative on his foot, on his leg, so that is a huge sign. Good thing for Terrion Arnold. It's that I said it when it happened to Easy on the watch party. I was like, all right, he's got the young body. Hopefully he can bounce back, kind of like what Sam Laporta did last year when he had the knee injury.
Yep.
And I think Stafford was like, man, it must be nice to be young again because he just bounced back from that. I would have been done for the year.
Yeah.
So the youth helped in Terrion Arnold. He avoided anything serious that we know of up to this point, and he said himself he's going to play the next time the Lions go out there.
Thank God, because honestly, that was maybe the biggest point of the game for me when I saw, my favorite player on the Detroit Lions suiting up to get out there, Kendall Vildor. So I was a little bit nervous, honestly. So to get Terrion back, I think it's going to mean everything for this team because we saw when we bring pressure, this defense is very good still.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing to me in this game. So to have Terrion back to be able to cover for a little bit longer, maybe compared to some other cornerbacks on this squad, I think it'll be big for this team.
And shout out to everybody in the Woodward Sports Chat. Make sure you drop super chats in there to get up to the front of the line where we'll read your comment. And we got one here from the Hat and Beard Show. He said, been hyping up Amik all season. Dude showed up. He absolutely did. We're going to get into that later. Amik Robertson got the game ball from Dan Campbell. He got the player of the game. On top of that, the man was out there locking up Justin Jefferson. He was. And shout out to Terrion Arnold. I apologize to you, young man. Because I said, maybe don't say that. Maybe don't go out there and poke the bear. Maybe don't say that about Justin Jefferson. No, he said it. He talked his shit, and they backed it up. Because Terrion was out there making plays, too. Terrion was out there breaking up balls that were intended to Jordan Addison in the end zone. Like, those guys were playing some coverage out there, man.
Yep.
Aaron Glenn had them going. And that is what you love to see is your guy talking shit and then himself and the guys around him picking him up and showing, no, we do have the cover guys here. We are a bad matchup for this Vikings team.
Maybe the most underrated free agent signing in the whole NFL is Amik Robertson. He just showed what kind of a dog he is. And the quote, they try to bury me, but they can't bury what comes from the dirt. Absolute
Facts.
bar. That was the hardest thing I've ever seen said in a locker room. And everybody got behind him as soon as he said that. You see how fired up the boys got? That fires me up, honestly. I wish I could be in that locker room.
I love it, man. I love those every time. You see Malik Peterson says, you blitz all night. That's what they did. Aaron Glenn said, all right, Sammy Darnold, you're going to not have time to sit back there and process. Sam Darnold was hit more times in this game than he has been all year. They were throwing that thing around at him, and you love to see it. They will remember when they came into Ford Field and played the Lions. I love it, man. I love it. We're going to get into this. We got a Dan Campbell video that we're going to play after break. It's him talking about the defense. But first, tell us about Mark White.
Mark White gonna do you right. Dreaming of a new home but feeling like a financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 for your closing costs. That's right, $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest first insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesdays during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards with Mez, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
You know, I can't say enough about our defense. Let me start there, man. AG and this defense, they really control that game for us, particularly the first half, 2.5 quarters. The guys on defense, I thought, executed exactly the way that we had worked and what we had talked about. We were able to apply a lot of pressure, and it just paid dividends. You know, that's a good team over there. They're well coached. Kevin O'Connell does a great job. Ton of weapons, and we were able to contain them and keep them at bay until our offense was able to, to find our rhythm. So just total team effort. Started with our defense, and took the whole unit. But man, what a great job! Back-to-back division winners in the NFC North. Got the 1 seed, 15 wins. I just couldn't be more proud of those guys.
This is the best season in Detroit Lions history, and
Let's
Dan
go.
Campbell knows it. This is the best team in Detroit Lions history, and Dan Campbell knows it. Obviously, you still have a lot to write when it comes down to the playoffs, getting to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, but appreciate you all joining us. This is the Woodward Heavyweights. Smash that like button. Subscribe to Woodward Sports YouTube. For Nick, for Kool-Aid, for Chris, I am Spencer. We're the Heavyweights, and he mentioned it first, and I don't think we could mention this enough. But this man, dude, the silent killer, like you said, number 7 defense in the league now. Aaron Glenn and what he did against these Vikings, against Sam Darnold, to get into his head, make him hear footsteps, make him see the ghosts, and have him overthrowing his talented receivers all game. That was something special. It was truly a masterclass out of Aaron Glenn.
And you got to get used to it at this point. That's what you're going to see out of this Detroit Lions defense. We've talked about the injuries so much because it is a big part of this story for the Detroit Lions. But what does Aaron Glenn do? He adapts. And that's the big thing. He doesn't get stubborn. You do have to bring pressure. You are going to have to cause turnovers in these big games. Whether it's Sam Darnold again, whether it's Matthew Stafford, they cannot sit back and pick you apart. You have to be the aggressor, which I believe Aaron Glenn loves to be.
He does. He this is what he wants to be. You remember what he said when he first got hired. First of all, he said he wanted to be the best defensive coordinator in Detroit Lions history. I mean,
it's getting close.
He's getting pretty close. And he said he wants to make football violent again. He wants to bring the aggressiveness and the violence back to football. And we can tell by the way they play.
Oh, yeah.
They have, and they are. And dude, we saw it with different guys, whether it be Josh Pascal, Zadarius Smith with a big sack, all these guys moving around, getting pressure in to just confuse Sam Darnold, to throw him off, to make sure he can't just sit back there flat-footed and deliver the ball where he needs to go. You had him running for his life out there.
Yeah, you have not seen Sam Darnold look this poor all season long. And that's what Aaron Glenn, he turned Sam Darnold back into the Sam Darnold we all thought he was at the beginning of this season. And that's what you love to see. And I love how much it crushed every single Vikings fans' confidence, moving forward.
Yes.
Now they don't know what to do at quarterback.
Yeah.
Do they want Sam Darnold back? Do they want to go to JJ McCarthy? It's got their brain in a pretzel a little bit now, Spencer.
JJ was looking like Timothy Chalamet on the sideline with the long hair, looking really skinny. By the way,
nice.
He looked real skinny. But shout out to everybody in the Woodward Sports Chat dropping those super chats in there. We truly appreciate that. Keith Gerardo in there. He says, I don't know why, but I feel compelled to write the team a super chat during the break, so I will thank Terrion because he let a naysayer know. And, hey, he truly did. He truly did. Like I said, he talked his shit. He went out there. He backed it up. And then you got Hunter Parker in there as well. He said 15-2. Who would have thought? I also thought to myself all night, thinking the Vikings are going to score at least one touchdown tonight, right? If you would have told anybody this, anybody in the state of Michigan, hey, they are going to hold the Vikings without a touchdown in this game, they would have said you're crazy.
Under 10 points, they would have called you a madman.
They would have called you a madman.
At least a madman. Yeah, I mean, I'm just so impressed, and it gives me so much confidence moving forward because the only question mark on this team is the defense. We have the best offense in the NFL, no matter what. And I honestly thought the offense played at maybe like a C level, C+ level.
Yeah, offense
Those
did not play well.
Those were horrible turnovers by Jared Goff.
Yeah.
And you hate to see it, but compared to games in the past where it's haunted you, this team is resilient.
Yes.
They bounced back. Their defense actually stepped up and picked up their offense when they needed it the most, and that's great complimentary football.
And shout out to Rando Smalls in the Woodward Sports Chat with the super chat. He said the attention to detail is off the charts, whether it's the trick plays or fakes. Remind us all of the backyard. Every time these guys get the game ball, they thank every teammate, and it's true. Like this is truly a team. This is why they're so good, is because Brad Holmes has built this roster. Dan Campbell has coached these guys up to where it is every single guy does his job and does it at a high level. And you had to withstand a couple injuries. Obviously, we still got a couple more to go. But getting pieces back, like Ife Melifonwu and Alex Anzalone, we're going to talk about his impact later, but that just makes everyone's job around him easier. That lets Jack Campbell go out there and do what he does best, which is see ball, hit ball, get downhill, and attack people, because Anzalone is on the other side of him, taking away a lot of those situations that he was in the last couple of weeks that kind of got him out of his zone. But what Aaron Glenn did, how he coached this team up, how he has these guys prepared, this is so impressive. To have the top 7 defense in the NFL,
yes, with
all of these injuries still, like you held a 14-2 offense without a touchdown. And that's just Aaron Glenn. Hats off to you, sir.
Yeah, one of the guys you hit on there, and Alex Anzalone. Absolute heart and soul and the leader of this team. You heard Ford Field absolutely erupt last night. I honestly got chills being in there.
Oh, yeah.
With his return. And you can just tell how much better they are on defense. And they can make calls now because he's such a smart player. His IQ is off the charts. So to have everybody else in the right position, that's a slept-on part about Anzalone's game that is so impressive to me. And like you said, it allows Jack Campbell to be Jack Campbell at his best, and that's flying around and hitting people hard.
Yeah.
It's super impressive. And Anzalone, big key reason why they have been so successful. Chris?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many players to highlight, but to me, I just want to highlight the simple fact of this team. Now you should have ultra confidence because they've shown they can win anyway. They've shown they can make it ugly, and they thrive there. They can go high scoring, and thrive there. This is a team that truly, like Spencer said earlier, is built to withstand any test, any battle, and that's what you got to love about this team. That's what you got to feel confident about, because the playoffs are shaky. One game, it's high scoring, it's high flying. The next game, it's ugly, it's messy, it's sloppy, and you just got to grind out a win. But the Lions can do it either way, and that's what you got to feel good about going forward. You have to feel good about that. Anzel's a big player, but I know we'll get to him more specifically later.
Yeah, we're going to get into him. The two players of the game on defense that were Anzalone and Amik Robertson. We're going to talk about them in spades. Shout out to God in the Woodward Sports Chat. Always good to see the big man in there. He said, bless the Detroit Lions. This is for the fans. It truly is, man. This is for everyone. The Detroit Lions are the number 1 seed in the NFC. The Detroit Lions have a bye, and they're going to host playoff games at Ford Field now. The playoffs go through Detroit.
Detroit, yeah, 100%. Detroit wins the NFC Championship game if that game's played at Ford Field.
Yeah.
Last year. They win that game. The momentum got swung. San Francisco, the crowd was roaring. If that game was in Ford Field, I wholeheartedly believe they would have won that game. Dan Campbell knew that. We've heard the speech a million times. He manifested this when he said all roads lead through Detroit. And now it's here, Spenny. And I would absolutely hate to have to go into Ford Field to try to beat this team right now.
Yeah, for sure. And
I don't think anybody will either.
Nobody will. They're not going to lose in Ford Field. They won't. And you look at what they have coming back. We already talked about Ife Melifonwu. Alex Anzalone came back, had an insane game. Amik Robertson going back to the outside these past couple weeks. He has been lights out. He has been one of the best corners in the NFL since he got bumped to the outside after they lose Carlton Davis. So these guys and their role in this game cannot be downplayed, and we're going to get into that next. But first, tell us about the pregame show.
On game days, make sure you wake up with Woodward and Maine with insights from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. And after that, make sure you check out the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Belegian, Sunday 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports. And for the home games, which we got a lot more coming, make sure you check them out at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Great atmosphere. Come get some.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. And catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash the like button for not easy, for Nick, for Kool-Aid, for Chris. I am Spencer. We are the Heavyweights, so make sure you smash that like button. Get those super chats rolling in there. Shout out to everybody in the chat room.
Shout out
Gun Guy. Take your pants off. And we talked about it already a little bit. Alex Anzalone and what he brought back to this team. He is your captain. He is the guy that goes out there and takes care of business when you need it the most. We saw him making extreme plays in this game that really tilted the tide. Shout out to God again in the Woodward Sports Chat. Penne for MVP, and Burn in the Woodward Sports Chat. He says, in the entire history of Detroit Lions, going back to 1934, no team has beaten Detroit in a postseason game in the city of Detroit. They're 6-0. Wow.
Damn.
That's a good little history lesson to drop on you right there.
Oh, yeah.
But a big reason of why no team beat the Detroit Lions last night in Detroit was because of Alex Anzalone and his return. And here's what Dan Campbell had to say about his captain coming back.
It was huge. Look, I've said it before. He's really our quarterback on defense. He's our quarterback on defense. And, he just brings there's a lot of confidence. He brings a lot of energy. He can calm the storms. He just, to have him back, and I thought it was going to take him a minute to work himself back in, and it didn't take long at all. And he was back to what he was before he got injured, I thought. So, hell, we gave him a game ball. So, it was outstanding.
You heard what Dan Campbell said. He picked up like he didn't miss a beat. Like the guy was back out there playing at an extremely high level, which he has been the past couple of years for the Detroit Lions. And we talked about him coming back and what this means to the team. We talked about him using his high football IQ to kind of get rid of some of those bump and run coverages, some of those drag routes that we saw the 49ers doing a lot of, to get mix-ups and to get open coverages. And in the middle of the field, Anzalone takes that away because he's so smart and he knows what he's doing. And then on top of that, I saw multiple times, obviously they weren't calling it for some reason, but when Sam Darnold was down to, 0 seconds on the game clock, he's jumping up and down, screaming to the refs. And then at the end of the game, he wasn't even worried about it. He wasn't even trying to get them to throw the flag. He was just screaming up there as soon as the clock hit 0, man. Alex Anzalone being back was so important for this team and for this game. They needed him back, and especially for the stretch run when you're looking to the Super Bowl. And him being back, coming back, playing the way he did. And he said he's not 100%. If that's not him at 100%, I don't want to see him at 100% because it'll be looking like Brian Urlacher mixed with Teddy Bruschi mixed with Ray Lewis out there. Like he played a flawless game.
Yeah, I didn't know how badly the Detroit Lions needed Alex Anzalone back until I saw it, to be honest. That's how big it was. And it was so good to see because he really is, Dan Campbell said it, the quarterback on defense. And I cannot praise this guy's IQ enough because it makes everybody on the defense really better, and you're gonna need that. And maybe it wasn't as needed like against the Sam Darnold, but you're gonna need it against the Jalen Hurts if you want to get to the Super Bowl, if you want to help. And like we talked about, helping Jack Campbell, like we're gonna have to now deal with a Baker Mayfield who can also rush the ball. Stafford, I'm not really too scared of getting too out of the pocket, too mobile. But when it comes to those bigger games in these playoffs that we're gonna see now, Alex Anzalone helping out everybody else, and specifically with some running quarterbacks, I think that'll be a big key going forward.
Xavier D in the Woodward Sports Chat, he says, Anzo, the real dad, came home. Alex Anzalone, father of two. Like, you talk about this guy and what they did to Sam Darnold, this defense. Getting pressure on him, getting tackles on him, hitting him, getting him on his ass. Anzalone was in that backfield a lot. Anzalone was being sent up the middle and sent on blitzes, and he was getting to Sam Darnold quite a few times on top of locking down TJ Hawkinson in coverage a couple times. He did get the one penalty on him, but I don't care. I don't care. Do what you got to do. It didn't come back to bite the Lions, and he was playing just fantastic football out there.
And one point I want to make is that I feel like he's been playing great, but Jack Campbell looked even better with Anzalone there. I mean, how many times did you see him either making the tackle or right next to the guy that made the tackle? He was able to be free to do what he does best. I thought that was a big, big key because to me, they were giving up those passes, sure, those 4 or 6 yard passes, but they were stopping them right there with the tackle. They weren't allowing them to get many breaks. The only breaks they really got was in the backfield on the defensive line. But the linebackers stood their ground and allowed this team to keep being third and long, third and short, just manageable defensive positions, and that's what you want from this team. So Anzo was absolutely excellent. I don't want to take anything away from him, but I think what can't be lost is how much he accentuate Jack Campbell's performance.
He makes everyone's job easier. Nick said it earlier. You're getting guys in position. He is the captain. He was the green dot. He was the leader on this defense for a reason. You get that guy back. He's making sure players around him, like Jack Campbell, like Levi Onwuzurike, like other guys like that, are in the right position to make plays. And when you have Jack Campbell out there, and no offense to him, but Alex Anzalone instead of Ezekiel Turner, yes, you're going to see a big jump in his production. You're going to see him playing more free. You're going to see him playing more confidently, playing more aggressively, because he knows the guy on the other side of him is his old head, is his captain, is his guy that he can depend on. If he over pursues, if he does something stupid, he knows he's got his partner next to him that's going to pick up for him.
Yeah, and we've seen this defense without him now. And speaking about the defense without him, the 6 games he missed, we averaged 26.5 points per game given up. That would have ranked 30th in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much and how much of a difference maker Alex Anzalone is to this team. I cannot say it enough. The high IQ really is off the charts. And his $6 million a year is looking like an absolute steal. Because if Alex Anzalone doesn't get hurt, he's going with the rest of the Lions to the Pro Bowl, which they will not be attending for everybody that's curious about that. But yeah, Alex Anzalone would have been a no-doubt Pro Bowler in the linebacker spot for the NFC.
Yeah, I agree. And James in the Woodward Sports Chat with the Super Chat, he says, Anzo for the DC job after he retires. Hey, I don't hate it. We'll see. Maybe not DC right away, but if Calvin Shepard decides to move up or move on, maybe he can get that linebacking coach role. But this Alex Anzalone really cemented himself to the city of Detroit and to Detroit Lions fans more than he already had. Because, like, if you follow the Lions, like we all follow the Lions, and like all you guys do, you know how much he meant to this team. You know the level of play you've been getting out of Alex Anzalone the past 2 years has been top 10 in the NFL. And so you know how important he is. But for the casual fans and for the guys and people and that are just getting into it, seeing those stitches on his arm, seeing him come back after breaking his arm as fast as he can, and then having that impact and not being skittish, not being like, not doubting himself, trusting his guns, playing how he plays in the only way this Aaron Glenn defense knows how to play, and that is aggressive, violent, and fast. It just shows like that these guys, this Dan Campbell guy, the culture guy is a true thing, and that's what a culture guy is for the Detroit Lions. It's not the choir boy. It's not the nice guy. It is a guy that is a psychopath and loves football more than anything else, and the majority of the players on this team fit that description. Anzalone just showed you firsthand why he's the captain on this defense, why this team brought him from New Orleans. Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn brought him from New Orleans because they knew this is the kind of guy you build a foundation with. This is the kind of guy you want to lead your defense and lead your young guys, and he showed you going out there, showing the grit, and just playing his ass off with a broken fucking arm.
Unbelievable. Talk about the epitome of grit. Like, that's what Alex Anzalone is. And it wasn't, all-pro future to be, or soon to be, Kirby Joseph that got announced last. It wasn't all-pro soon to be Brian Branch that got announced last. It was the heart and soul of this team, and specifically this defense. It was Alex Anzalone. I don't think I've ever heard Ford Field louder in my life.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Honestly, it was like, I wish I got a video of it for Chris, honestly, so I could show the chat. I'm sure I can find it somewhere. But
shouts out,
unbelievable.
Dubski's in the chat. Kool-Aid, I know you already had your show today, so I know you got a lot of your takes out already. But Alex Anzalone, what did he mean to the Detroit Lions in this game?
Man, I'm still trying to figure out and quantify just how good is he.
Yeah.
The impact that you saw, the defense looked night and day. And one of the things that we did, point out this morning was just the broadcast. They were saying how much better these linebackers were able to be utilized kind of in some of these new schemes that they noticed and these new wrinkles from Aaron Glenn. And you got to have high IQ linebackers. You can have a lot of try-hard guys. You can have some highly skilled guys. But there is like a special set of players in there who they also combine all of that with their high IQ, and that's Alex Anzalone. and Jack Campbell is almost like his little pit bull in training.
Yeah.
Like, just straight up. And like you guys said, not just being able to unlock some of the other players around him, but being able to go out there and really just play free. One of the things I love about Alex Anzalone is how instinctual he plays. He just seems to have a feel for the game. When to rush in, when to try and get like a pressure or a quarterback hit. When to, I think they're going to pass the ball and drop back into coverage. There was a couple plays where I was just like, my goodness, that end-to-end speed. We missed that. Even though we had guys that stepped up. Even though we didn't, lose too many games without him. It was amazing to see him in that game and see that type of impact. And honestly, there was a time where I supremely underestimated him. Not this year, though.
Yeah.
But in the past, I was like, yo, what are they doing? They're really showing a lot of trust and faith in this guy. And Dan Campbell continued to step to the table and give that kind of vote of confidence.
Yeah.
And to see it pay dividends today, it just echoes the sentiment of what Jared Goff was like, saying 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when we were in the mud, he told us everything. All of it's come true, and that's why we believe him today.
It's true. I mean, his first year with the Lions was rough. Like, nobody can disagree with that. Anzalone's first year with the Lions was rough. But since then, he has been a top 10 linebacker in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And it's amazing to see what he says. And Kool-Aid made a great point about how instinctual and his IQ, the way he plays the game, and that comes with the familiarity of this defense. That comes with being tied with Aaron Glenn for so long, knowing exactly where he wants him, what he wants him to do, and the exact reads that he knows. Oh, okay, when the guard does this, I'm going there right off his ass. When the linebacker or when the running back comes to fill, I'm dropping back and taking him in coverage. He knows the little nuances to put himself and his teammates in the best position to have success.
It is so impressive, and with that, we have two guys, Alex Anzalone on defense and Jared Goff on offense, that have so much confidence in the system and in themselves to make the proper switches at the line of scrimmage.
Facts.
It is massive for this offense and for this defense, and that's why they are so elite and dominant. I've been blown away, or I was blown away last night with how this defense played. Nobody in the world expected this. And if you did, you're lying. If you thought that they were going to hold them under 10 points.
Without a touchdown.
Without a touchdown?
That's crazy.
Absolutely insanity. And this gives me so much confidence. And if you look at some of the books nowadays, shout out Caesar Sportsbook, the Lions have moved back to being the Super Bowl favorite. And I want to shout out all of the national media once again for sleeping on the Detroit Lions, picking Minnesota to come into Ford Field and win the game against Dan Campbell's Lions with everything on the line.
Yeah, Mina Kimes, I'm looking at you. Ryan Clark, I'm looking at you. Swagoo, I'm looking at you. You guys, you like the Lions for a while, right? You love Dan Campbell for a while. You're going to pick that bum Sam Darnold to come into Ford Field and beat us? Come on.
Also, shout out Nick Wright. I'm glad the Bears won the NFC North. You, sir, are an absolute loser.
Absolute clown. Nick Wright is an absolute clown for sure. We're going to go to break, and we're going to talk about the guy who had a better game on defense than Alex Anzalone. The guy who played his ass off. The guy who can't be buried because he's fucking built from the dirt. This guy, Amik Robertson, what he's got going. What's up?
No, it's just some other dogs we got to shout out. If y'all don't smash that like button for the heavies, please, boy, Victory Monday, smash the like button. Appreciate y'all sending those super chats as well, man. They're crushing right now.
Always appreciate the super chats. Please smash the like button and subscribe. It does more than you know. Kool-Aid, we appreciate you filling in, brother. Last second, Kool-Aid came in here and is taking care of business. We are going to go to break, though. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about Amik Robertson, the doggest dog of the dogs, and what he did against Justin Jefferson.
Straight from the dirt.
Straight from the dirt.
Second best bar. That's where you're going to have to go for every single game in Detroit. Doesn't have to be just the Lions, but definitely check out the pregame show for the home games that are coming up at Second Best Bar in Detroit, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Come get some.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or bust Lions network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The bad boys from the NFL are here. Your 2024 Detroit Lions are the hardest hitting, highest flying, trickiest playing, grittiest team in the NFL.
A dominant team.
Get all your coverage of your favorite team right here in your favorite network. Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
1800 Tequila is the smoothest tequila in the game, and now a proud partner of the Detroit Lions and Woodward Sports as they team up to give you the best watch party in the game. Detroit Lions watch party live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. So if you're in the area, make sure to tap in. If you are not able to, tap in via the stream on YouTube and all streaming platforms that we stream on. And when you're getting 1800 Tequila, make sure you get the custom-made Lions bottle, special bottle for a special season. And as always, when you're drinking the best tasting tequila, please drink responsibly.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Smash that like button for Nick, for Kool-Aid, for Chris. Yeah. I am Spencer. We are the Heavyweights. Like I said, smash that like button. Get those super chats in there. Appreciate everyone in the Woodward Sports chat. Stephen Edwards, Jake Cruzen, Runyon, Dr. Disinfect, David Witt, Fab Five Bad Boys, Jim Hayward, Jim Leahy. Jim Leahy, I am the liquor. Shout out, RIP. But shout out to everybody in the chat, all the usual suspects in there as well. We talked about Anzalone. We've been gushing about Aaron Glenn. We've been talking about this defense so much. This defense that held a 14-win Vikings offense without a touchdown and with only 9 points. And we haven't talked about the guy who had the best performance on the field. The guy who was truly the best player on the defense for the Detroit Lions last night was none other than Amik Robertson himself.
Yep.
One of the most underrated free agent pickups in the offseason.
Yep.
Amik Robertson and what he has brought to this team since bumping out to the entire year, he has been one of, if not the best tackling defensive backs in the NFL when it comes to stopping the run, getting up there, getting his nose dirty, and putting people in the dirt. But since he has bumped out to the outside, he has been one of the best corners in the league. And last night, he shut down Justin Jefferson. He completely locked him down. He was following him around the field. They had the ties to playing together, growing up in the youth circuit back in Louisiana. But this guy, Amik Robertson, had him in jail. He had him double strapped. Pause. I loved seeing it. Like I said, Amik Robertson was following him around. And how many times did we see them in the red zone with a 1st and goal go, okay, Justin Jefferson will throw to him. Nope, Amik punches out. 2nd and goal, we'll throw it back to Justin Jefferson. Nope, Amik punches it out. 3rd and goal, they're looking for him, and Amik has him clamped down. And he can't do it. Multiple red zone possessions, multiple 1st and goals for this Vikings offense, no touchdowns to show for it, and Amik Robertson was a huge part of that.
We've seen how much Justin Jefferson can absolutely burn a defense because it's happened to us for the last 6 times that we've played the Vikings. But Amik Robertson, to be able to shut down the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL is so impressive. And he talks about being, coming up from the dirt. This dude has 3 forced fumbles on the season.
Yeah.
He goes after the football. I love that part about his game as well. And to be able to go one-on-one with Justin Jefferson at times last night, so impressive. And I love how much confidence he has in himself. He's been talking all season long. He was a little bit slept on as a free agent. I'll say so myself. I was not familiar with your game. That's how good Amik Robertson's been. Absolute dog. Such a great addition to this team. And Brad Holmes, he knew it was going to be because he didn't just give him a 1-year proven deal. He gave him 2.
He did. He knew what he was doing. And one funky Lions fan in the Woodward Sports Chat says, Spenny, I tried to tell everyone that Amik was better on the outside than inside, but I got told he was too small. They called me a madman. I just added that in there. But no, we saw it when he played in Las Vegas. When they made him move outside, when he had to move outside because of the injuries, he really took off, and that's where he shined. And we're seeing it again here in Detroit, that he is the cornerback one on this team right now, man. He was following around Justin Jefferson. Like, Carlton Davis wasn't even doing that when he was healthy.
Oh, no.
Like, he was shadowing Justin Jefferson on this field, and this is what Amik Robertson had to say post-game after his spectacular performance.
Man, I've been anxious for this opportunity for so long. You know, everything I did out there, I expected. You know, I knew I was gonna play. You know, play that way. The only thing I kind of was shocking that I got player of the game. You know, I never got one of those, man. That was an unreal feeling.
And you just hear it. Like Nick said, the confidence in this guy. He knows what he's about. He knows what he's got, and he knows what he's got is better than what you got. I don't care if you're Justin Jefferson. I don't care if you're Ja'Marr Chase. I don't care if you're prime Jerry fucking Rice. Amik Robertson thinks he will lock you down, and he went out there and he did it. He went out there and he strapped that shit down, bro. He held the best receiver in the NFL to under 60 yards, to only 3 catches, and one of them being on a play that shouldn't have happened because it should have been called dead for a delay of game.
Yep.
Amik Robertson, man, hats off to you. The confidence he brings and the tackling on top of it.
And this gives me so much, speaking of confidence, it gives me so much confidence moving forward for a matchup with A.J. Brown or a matchup with Puka Nacua, Mike Evans, go down the list. You're going to run into a lot of elite wide receivers moving forward. And to have this guy, yeah, he is slightly undersized. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
He can cover you like fucking white on rice. Let's go, baby.
Like a hobo on a ham sandwich.
Hobo and a ham sandwich. Let's go. I love that one, Spenny.
Thank you.
And this gives me so much confidence moving forward. We talked about Brad Holmes and how he's revamped the secondary. I would love to see it healthy. Yeah. Carlton Davis, Amik Robertson, Ennis Rakestraw, like Terrion Arnold's coming together now.
Played a great game.
It's super impressive. Amik Robertson, like we talked about with Alex Anzalone, culture guy. Amik Robertson fits this culture perfectly.
Oh, he absolutely does. This is a guy that when he got signed to the Lions, literally that night he was up at 3 a.m. watching film talking about he's ready to go.
Just about to say that,
yeah,
man.
He's a freak.
You don't bet against the guy that's up first day watching film at 3 a.m. You never bet against that guy.
No.
In fact, you put the kid's college fund on that guy doing good. But no, he was absolutely impressive. He was lights out. Man, I really wanted him to get that interception, not obviously just for what it was,
really close,
but for the game he had. Mm-hmm. He deserved to grab that one, man, when he jumped Jefferson beautifully on that end zone route there. That was huge.
That route, dude, the way he covered that route
was so perfect.
The flip of the hips, he ran the route for him. Like, that was one of the best single coverage routes I've seen this year out of a Lions defensive back.
He was kicking himself for not having that interception.
Yeah, he was.
And I'm going to
couple dropped interceptions by the Lions. Darius had one.
Yep.
Obviously, Amik had one. I think somebody else had one too.
It's crazy. How lucky is Sam Darnold?
Very lucky.
Like what? Like he had like the most projected interception. Like for some reason, this guy just can't get picked off. But moving forward, I think Amik will get one because he is undersized, but people still will go at him for that reason. But I love his ball skills. He didn't get it last night, but moving forward, I think he will in a big spot in the playoffs.
And KD74 in the Woodward Sports Chat says, JJ is Amik's rival since high school. Yeah, they've been battling for a while. They're from that dirt, from those trenches in Louisiana, man. And this guy knows Justin Jefferson like the back of his hand. He knows every route he's going to run. He knows every move he wants to make, every tip, every give, every sell that Justin Jefferson has. Amik knows it. And crayons for breakfast in the Woodward Sports Chat says he's not undersized. He's average. Pause. It's true. He's average, man. And, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And nobody on this team has more fight in them than Amik Robertson. And we saw that last night going toe for toe with the guy that is almost unanimously respected as the best wide receiver in football.
100%. Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited for what this does going forward because this is another tip of the hat to Brad Holmes for constructing this roster that he's got such a deep team that Amik could have been, just chilling all season, having a regular season, and you pull him out for this one game, and here goes this chess piece. Boom. That's the kind of depth that they have built to where these guys are always going to be able to succeed because they have so much versatility on this roster. They preach it and they live it, and this is why a moment like this Amik can give you. And that is absolutely huge for this team. So Amik was awesome. He was incredible in this game. I mean, we all know going back to the San Fran game last year in the playoffs where how much that cornerback, how much that secondary room needed help in that game. And now to have a guy like Amik make this kind of statement heading into the playoffs, all those other elite receivers, Nick, you named, yes, Amik will be definitely used. But he also sent a message to all of them as well. He said, hey, is this your king?
Yeah.
And he just dropped him off at the doorstep. You got to love it.
Great point there, Chris. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, and we're about almost an hour into the show. We are an hour into the show, and we haven't even mentioned the guy that scored 4 touchdowns last night. So that just shows you the type of defensive performance that Aaron Glenn and these boys put out there, man. Anzalone, Jack Campbell, obviously Amik Robertson we just got done talking about. Shout out to Terrion Arnold as well. The Rook stepped up, making some big plays. We're going to get into the defensive line later, but yeah, Zadarius Smith, big 17-yard sack for him. It was just an amazing performance by this defense. But we got to flip the script a little bit. We got to talk about this guy, Jahymr Gibbs, man. Because what he was doing last night was it was like prime Adrian Peterson shit. Like what I was seeing out of Jahymr Gibbs was like prime Adrian Peterson shit. Like he could not be stopped.
I got a comp when we get back.
I like it. Is it CJ2K?
It definitely is. Shout out, Spencer.
Sorry.
But better.
Sorry, but better.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Maybe it's not. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back.
Teaser.
Sorry, Nick. I'm just like that. We'll go to break. We're going to talk about Jahymr Gibbs and his performance coming up next. But first, let me tell you about Les Stanford. Are you overdue for a new car? Beat the holiday rush and get an amazing deal from Les Stanford Chevrolet. Right now, a Blazer EV2 LT with all-wheel drive is only $149 per month. Or check out the Equinox EV LT for only $169 per month. Get to Les Stanford today or click on the QR code on the screen and check out their massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale. LesStanford.com.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at LesStanford.com today.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza has a limited time offer continuing throughout football season. Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature flavored wings this football season. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, add fresh wings for the games this weekend. Try one of their 7 different flavors. www.sorokis.com.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button for Nick, for Kool-Aid, for Chris. I am Spencer. We are the Heavyweights. Get in that Woodward Sports chat. Send some super chats in there if you want to hear your comment read before anybody else's. But we just got done talking. We were talking about the defense for an hour. We're talking about what Aaron Glenn did. We're talking about with guys like Anzalone and Amik Robertson and the way they performed. Now let's look at the other side of the ball. Let's look at Jahymr Gibbs. This is a guy who went out there and he had, 170 all-purpose yards and 4 touchdowns. Multiple extremely important blitz pickups where he's getting a piece of a guy just to give Goff enough time to get the ball out. But he was doing whatever he wanted in the run game. Man, they'd run him to the right, they'd run him up the middle, they'd run him to the left, and this Vikings team could not stop him. I don't care about Saquon Barkley. I don't care about Derrick Henry. Jahymr Gibbs is the best running back in football. Jahymr Gibbs is the most talented running back in the NFL, and if he didn't split a backfield, which I love that he does because it means his longevity is going to be there, and him and Montgomery are amazing together, he would put up over 2,000 yards rushing, he'd put up 1,000 yards receiving, and he'd score 30 touchdowns. He leads the league in touchdowns. 20 touchdowns for a guy that split a backfield for 80% of the season. Like that, I don't think people understand how hard that is to do. He is such an impressive player, man. He is truly the electrician. Shout out to our guy, Chef. Every time he touches the ball, you feel like he could take it in the end zone, and he kind of was last night.
And we talk about how big that these matchups get down the stretch. What kills? It's speed. Absolutely. You see J-Mo setting the world on fire. Jahymr Gibbs is so damn special. And I just want to tip the cap again to Brad Holmes. 12th overall pick. He got absolutely ridiculed for trading back, passing on Bijan if he was going to get a running back. Jahymr Gibbs is so much better than Bijan Robinson. And you know what else he got? Second team All-Pro tight end Sam Laporta. Like, you talk about how elite this offense is. It's because Brad Holmes is absolutely cooking in the draft room. Jahymr Gibbs is so damn special. And honestly, I don't know if he can sneak in. I think he should, personally, because you talk about the split backfield. I think he should sneak into being an All-Pro. Honestly, I do. And he has 20 touchdowns to set he has the current lead in the NFL. Honestly, I think he would have had 30.
He would have had 30.
If it wasn't splitting time with D-Mont.
I saw Peyton on Twitter, he's a Lions Twitter guy, put out his stats, what they would have been if he didn't, if he was the RB1 all year, and it was over 2,000 yards, it was over 800 yards receiving, and it was 34 touchdowns.
I don't doubt that at all.
No, it's crazy what this guy has done, man, and we saw it last night. 4 tutties, 4 of them things by himself, and he is so important for what they want to do in the pass game as well. Obviously, we saw that 4th down receiving touchdown he had right up the middle. Easy, boom, linebacker blitz, Gibbs right off his ass. Easy touchdown for Goff, pitch and catch. But what we talked about when Knuckles left, when David Montgomery went out, was the blitz pickups. How important David Montgomery was when it came to sticking your nose in there, picking up a linebacker, picking up a blitzer, and allowing Goff to deliver the mail. Jahymr Gibbs has been so good at that. These past 2 games, he has picked up some heavy blitzes. He has dealt with his lumps. Obviously, he got laid the fuck out by Van Ginkel last night, and he came back in the game. Dude, this guy, Jahymr Gibbs, is as tough as they come. He's not this finesse back. He's not this, scat back. No, he is one of the toughest runners in the NFL. He is one of the toughest nose running backs in the NFL. And he goes out there, and he just dominates a Vikings defense that excels at stopping the run.
And he is so unselfish as well. Like, sometimes you run into wide receivers that are divas, give me the ball, god damn it, A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs, that kind of thing. But Jahymr Gibbs is so unselfish. His best friend on the team is Monty. Like, that he's splitting these carries with, he's splitting the time with. And when his name was called to absolutely take over, when you know that this defense is banged up, and to be able to run the ball, control the clock, and catch passes, he does it all. I can't say enough good words about Jahymr Gibbs, but one more thing is, on Jahymr Gibbs' receiving game, he has the same amount of receptions as last year. He has 200 more yards. He is big play after big play every single time he touches the rock, and that gives your team so much momentum in this game, and it just absolutely breaks the other team's back.
Yeah.
We're finally seeing the culmination of what was talked about at his draft day selection, and it was offensive weapon. It wasn't back, it was offensive weapon, and you're seeing that here tonight where he is forced to be in a position that, you know, he has to be the sole carrier. I mean, you know, they were not getting anyone else really open or into the end zone. It was just Gibbs. Gibbs had all of the touchdowns. He was the guy that game. They needed him to step up. They needed him to be big time, and he absolutely was with the weight of the season on the line. It was absolutely phenomenal, and I was called a madman just on the last show when I pointed out there was a certain record that he was very close to passing. And what did he do? He passed that record, man. So congratulations to Gibbs. But you know what? This was an epic performance, and this was honestly the greatest running performance I have ever witnessed in a game or from a running back. Excuse me. Let me say weapon performance.
It truly was a weapon performance, man. You can't say enough about the guy. You truly can't. And Craig Reynolds also stepped up big.
He was awesome, yeah.
When Jahymr Gibbs did have to go off because of the hit, because of some licks that he was taking, Craig Reynolds stepped up. He had some big runs, picked up some big first downs, picked up some big blitzes. The running back room is just a well-oiled machine under Scotty Montgomery, man.
And it's the best running back room in the league.
It's not close.
Down. Yeah, you got Saquon, who's great. Derrick Henry, they're great. This running back room is so good, and we haven't even hit on a guy like our 4th-round pick from this year, which you know that Brad Holmes finds gems, Vaki.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what he does in the future as well. But, yeah, Craig Reynolds, we always talk about him in the pass protection because he's so damn good at it. But he did have some big runs last night, which I thought was really key for this team. And moving forward, if Monty is out, Craig is going to have to step up into this role, which we saw he was able to do last night.
We saw him do that. We saw Montgomery getting workouts in. The report out there was that he was getting full workouts in.
Really?
Obviously, that's not football workouts. That's a big difference, but you like to see him going out there and testing it because he does have the extra week of rest. So hopefully David Montgomery will be able to go in the divisional round. I'm not going to hold my breath on that, but he's going to be back sooner than later. You talked about it. Can Gibbs sneak in to All-Pro?
Yeah.
I think there's no doubt he should be the 3rd-team All-Pro. When you look, obviously you're going to have Derrick Henry and Saquon up there. But who's next in line if it's not Gibbs?
Do they throw out 3 for running backs?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, he's definitely in that. Let's go. Yeah, this is super exciting. And just add it, another check mark for Brad Holmes, honestly. Just another All-Pro that you're drafting. And I thought he was going to have a massive game. I was thinking that our 1st-round picks on offense, we're going to have to step up in this game. Sewell, J-Mo, and Gibbs. Gibbs got the carry, or a ton of carries last night.
It might just be 2 for running backs. You're right.
Is it 2? Okay. So now that's where the discussion starts.
So one of them got to go.
Can Saquon, Henry hit the road? Yeah, no. I mean, number 1 team in the NFC.
Yeah, it's just
most explosive player in the NFL, alongside his running mate, former Alabama superstar Jameson Williams. But yeah, it's just the game-breaking speed is so damn impressive. And when he is running and he takes a cut and does not miss a step, it's something special to watch. Chris, how impressed are you with what you've seen out of Jahymr Gibbs in his sophomore season?
I mean, I'm very impressed. Like I said, last night was the greatest, performance from a back that I have ever witnessed. And Brad Holmes said it, last summer in the press conferences, or last spring that was, and he talked about, how, this is a time where he gets to, kind of say as I told you so's on these draft picks. Well, these guys are in their second year and they're already competing for, high-level awards, for all pros, for Pro Bowls, for all of those selections. And, there's also a statement that Spencer made, and I loved it because it is not far-fetched to say that there is a pathway to Jahymr Gibbs being the best player in the NFL soon. That is a very real pathway that is coming and is possible to happen. So you got to love it from Gibbs. You're so impressed with everything you do. He does it so effortlessly. I'm impressed with the way he's picking up blitz, the way he's running in between tackles. He does it all at a high level. And you know what? This offense is just putting them in the perfect place to succeed, and then he's taking it to that next level. So he is an absolute gamer, and you have all the confidence in the world going forward.
That's just stupid. You get 7 all-pro wide receivers, but only 2 running backs.
That's ridiculous.
It should be 3 or 4 then.
It should be. I think it should be 3 first-team all-pro wide receivers, 3 second-team all-pro wide receivers, and then 1 first-team all-pro running back and 2 second-team all-pro running backs. That's how I would do it. I think having 3 and 4 for wide receivers is a little excessive. But whatever. Jahymr Gibbs is an all-pro in our heart.
Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry has 344 touches. Jahymr Gibbs has 302.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
How many yards is he back?
1929 compared to 2,114, so like a couple hundred.
Shout out to Jack Labrador in the Woodward Sports
Shout
Chat
out.
with a $50 super chat. Says, in the biggest game of the year, the Vikings played rock, paper, scissors. Jahymr Gibbs, Dan Campbell, and the Lions played Jack Labrador for the win. Nick, let's do a game with Jack Labrador right now.
All right.
Labrador.
You win.
I win. That's all it is, folks.
Yeah.
Jack Labrador. Make sure you go
This guy's
check it
got
out. Shout out to you guys in the Woodward Sports Chat. Shout out to our guy Dean from Jack Labrador.
Shout out.
But it's Jahymr Gibbs, man. The kid is special.
Yeah,
the kid is special, and he might not make the All-Pro team this year. He probably isn't going to make the All-Pro team this year, but he will next year.
One question before we go to break, Spencer, because I brought up your statement, which I'm wholeheartedly with, of him potentially being the best player in the NFL. How soon do you see that trajectory? Are we having that conversation end of next season?
I think we're having the conversation next year. I think next year Jahymr Gibbs is going to be an MVP consideration.
I don't think he will because of David Montgomery. Honestly, the only reason. If he was a lead back, I 100% think he wins MVP. Honestly, maybe this year.
I think next year they're going to get more into the Jahymr Gibbs as a lead back. David Montgomery is used in special situations like short yardage and goal line stuff.
Do you think it's like a 20? Well, if it's goal line stuff, he's taking away those TDs for those
Jahymr
MVPs.
Gibbs doesn't need one. He doesn't score touchdowns on the goal line. He scores them from 20 yards out. Like,
yeah, for real. Great point. But yeah, that's honestly a great point. But yeah.
I think right now you'd say it's like 50-50, right?
Yeah,
pretty much 50-50. I think they had literally the same amount of touches when David Montgomery went down. I think next year you're looking more 65-35, even up to 70-30 Jahymr Gibbs.
Yeah, do you think 25 touches a game for a whole season is too many?
No.
Not enough.
No. Not enough. All right, let's go to break. We're going to come back. Let me tell you about Lady Jane's. At Lady Jane's, we take the chore out of giving a haircut. Make sure you come in and have one of our talented award-winning stylists give you a hot leather neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, and an amazing haircut. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk-ins are always welcome, open 7 days a week. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Caesar Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. If you're looking to make a bet, make Caesars your first choice, because if you scan the QR code and use code word Woodward1000, your first bet up to $1,000 will be risk-free. You'll get it back in bonus bets if it doesn't hit. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button for Nick, for Kool-Aid, for Chris.
NFC North.
I am Spencer, the reigning, defending, two-time NFC champions. Detroit Lions took care of the trash last night.
Let's go,
and
baby.
Got these Minnesota pillow fuckers out of our city, out of the state of Michigan, and they took care of business in a handed way.
833 days, folks.
833 days since Minnesota has beaten the Detroit Lions.
Love to hear that.
Now, let's look at this offense again, because my guy Neil Rule took a lot of heat for this take. A lot of heat from Minnesota fans and even Lions fans alike. He said, I believe it was last week he said it, that he would rather have Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown over Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison any day of the week. And Minnesota fans threw him under the bus, said he didn't know ball. No, you can't do that. And then look at what happens. Addison and Jefferson combined for 4 catches for 54 yards. And we know what J-Mo and Amon-Ra have done, being, again, a pair of wide receivers with 1,000 receiving yards each. Amon-Ra St. Brown going over his team total. I don't remember exactly what he finished with. Jameson Williams finishing with 34 yards on the dot. Nick, who would you rather have today? Right now, you need to win a game between these two receivers. Or these two pairs of receivers.
I think without a doubt, Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the NFL. But if we're talking as a whole, and if we're pairing these guys as a duo, I'm taking Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown over Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison any day of the week. We talk about on the field and what Jameson Williams is able to open up, even when he's not catching the ball, how much it does for your offense. You talk about a guy like Gibbs and how he's having this massive season. You don't see two safeties in the box too often coming at him, because you know what? J-Mo's going deep, and you will get burned. And, you know, we saw the mistake last night by Goff, and he got picked off. But I am taking Jameson Williams and the game-breaking speed and the reliability to get open on big third downs when you need a first down, when pressure's coming, to absolutely cook a guy off the line of scrimmage in Amon-Ra St. Brown. Pairing those two guys together is so dynamic, and I believe that is why I would take both of them over the Minnesota Vikings 2 wide receivers.
That's what you have with you, let alone them just being non-diva. Both of them being the guys that bought into this team, bought into this system, bought into Dan Campbell, knowing that it might not be their night one night. They might not get the looks, but still going out there, putting their hard hat on, going to work and blocking downfield like demons. These guys are the ultimate team guys, and on top of it, you have two things. When you have Jameson Williams and you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, you've got fear and dependability. Because Jameson Williams inspires fear into opposing defenses.
Oh, yeah.
Jameson Williams puts fear into defensive coordinators because they know anytime he touches the ball, it could be a 70-yard touchdown. They know that if they don't have a guy over top and he gets one step off the line, it could be a touchdown. They have to game plan against that. You have to put wrinkles in your coverage to stop Jameson Williams, or he's going to burn you. They're scared of Jameson Williams. And then on the other side, you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who has the best hands in the National Football League. The best hands in the National. I believe he doesn't have a drop this year. Another year, over 115 catches. This guy is as elite as it comes. You can have Justin Jefferson, you can have Ja'Marr Chase, but you're going to have Amon-Ra St. Brown again being a first-team All-Pro wide receiver in the National Football League. This guy is as dependable as it comes, and if you put, like, Max Kellerman on the line, fate of the universe on the line, the Martian's got the death beam pointed at Earth, and I need a first down on a passing play, I'm taking Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I'm throwing the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown, because he is as dependable as it comes. He is as good as it gets to, I need this play. My season is on the line. This game is on the line. I'm throwing it to 14, and he's going to come down with it.
And this is just the start for Jameson Williams. We talked about his first 2 years in the NFL. One, he was coming off a massive, major injury, so I don't blame him at all. I honestly, like, everybody's saying the amount of games and the amount of yards, and it's like, do you not have any idea what this kid has been through in his first 2 years in the NFL? This is his first year. He was able to do off-season workouts with Goff, able to go through a full OTAs. And this is just the start for him. We've seen him develop so much this season where he's not just a deep ball guy. You see him on crossing routes. How about the big fourth down yesterday?
Yeah.
Jared Goff staying in there, hitting Jameson Williams. You wouldn't see that in the first 2 years of his career.
No.
But this year, Jared Goff trusts Jahymr so much. And yeah, he did throw the pick, but he trusted Jahymr in that spot.
That was one of the best plays I've ever seen Jared Goff make.
The
fourth down throw to Jameson Williams, free rusher, Metellus, a guy that hits hard, a guy that is very athletic and crafty. Jared Goff looks him in the eyes, fade away off his back foot, sidearm to Jameson Williams, perfectly in stride for the first down. That was one of the best throws I've ever seen him make. And shout out again to Jack Labrador in the chat. In the biggest games, I'm just reading it again because it's a $50 super chat. So shout out Jack Labrador. In the biggest games of the year, the Vikings played rock, paper, scissors. Jahymr Gibbs, Dan Campbell, and the Lions played Jack Labrador for the win. Let's do it again. Labrador. There you go. Jack
One more time.
beats rock, paper, scissors. Labrador.
Jack.
Labrador beats Jack. It's as simple as that, folks. And Dan Campbell is the Jack of all trades. But Nick, he takes the Lions receivers.
Why are you looking at me?
Because I was gonna throw it to you, but then I had to make it.
Buddy Pods?
Yeah, Nick took the Lions receivers. Yeah. I'm taking the Lions receivers. Where are you at with it, Chris?
Well, I mean, look, if people want to get so obsessed over the math of it, let's do the math of it. Each duo has 19 touchdowns, but the difference is the Lions duo has more yards, about 200 more yards. I think when it comes down to it, I think Addison is a lot, and I don't want to take away from him, but I think a lot of him is a product of Jefferson being next to him. I've watched some of these Vikings games this season, not as many as Nick over here, but I've watched a lot of Vikings games this season, and it's Jefferson triple team leading to Addison, whereas Jahymr is just one-on-one coverage, beating his man. I think Jahymr and Amon-Ra complement each other better than Jefferson and Addison. So I think the duo is better by every single metric, and I do think Jameson is better than Addison. So I think no matter how you shake it, I would take that pair. Kool-Aid, where are you at with it?
Yeah, definitely. One of the things I love about our offensive, our wide receivers is they don't complain. They don't complain. When you look at what they're able to benefit from or not, the Detroit Lions benefited from just one defensive pass interference for 5 yards. The Vikings had like 24 of those calls. Mm-hmm. And what did you hear from Justin Jefferson after the game?
Where are the calls? They weren't calling anything.
Exactly that. So it's like, yeah, look, we can talk about the skill, we could talk about the talent, but what about if you find yourself in a dark alley and you need some dogs?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because it was a different level of physicality last night. We know with the Vikings, they weren't playing soft. We saw what happened to guys like even Jahymr Gibbs.
Yeah.
But those guys, they don't complain. They just get up and they just keep on going.
And they block.
And they block. So what if you find yourself in adversity? This is football. So you can have all the skill and all the talent in the world. You can have the number one wide receiver when everything is going good. But what about when there's no flags? What about when your team is injured? What about when they need you to be the guy? We can't afford you to have 54 yards. We can't. We need you to go off, King. Yeah. It just didn't happen. So it's like, for me, when I look at this was a game where it was almost as if Dan Campbell was like, hey, look, Kryptonite, everybody's at even strength now. Let's see what it is. And our wide receivers, they stood the test. And then when you look at the numbers, the big playability of Jameson Williams, none of these wide receivers have more yards per catch than Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
1,000 yards. We talk about what he can do also in the run game. It's the dynamic ability. All of these wide receivers. You can give it to Amon-Ra St. Brown in the run game. You can let him throw the ball if you want. So it's just this whole aspect of IQ. These guys learning. These guys working for what the expectation is. It's those intangibles that lead me to take the Detroit Lions wide receiver room over the Minnesota Vikings. You know, that pair. And I would take the entire room. But just if we're willing it down to that pair, I would have to take the Lions because of that.
I agree. They're Steve Wild says it. No divas. They're not divas. Where was it? Yeah, he says it's culture and mentality, and it truly is with these guys, man. They don't expect anything. They're gonna go take it. Pause. Like they're gonna go out there and they're gonna take and the way they complement each other, man. Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown complement each other so well with what they do and their skill sets that. And Nick, you made a good point about Jameson Williams evolving throughout the year and becoming this true star receiver that we're seeing now with 1,000 yards on only 58 catches, and he missed multiple games this year. Like, you forget about that.
Yep.
J-Mo missed 2 games this year and still got over 1,000 yards on only 58 catches. There was one play in this game against the Vikings that Jameson Williams made. It was a nice catch over the middle for a first down, and he got absolutely schwacked. I don't remember who it was, Harrison Phillips, whoever it was, maybe Murphy Jr. hit him. All hands catch by Jameson Williams, hit from behind, holds on to it, goes down, gets up, flexes on him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you love to see that shit, dude.
The confidence is booming out of this kid, Jameson Williams. We talked about this is his first 1,000-yard season. Next year, you are going to have 2 bona fide superstars in the wide receiver room for the Detroit Lions. Both of them. I mean, we talk about Pro Bowls and all pros because that's this time of the season. But yeah, he's going to be a Pro Bowler next year, 100%. Jameson Williams is just getting started. And when it always goes back to Brad Holmes to me, he was able to take this guy at number 12 overall. Yeah. I think he had the highest upside out of any of those wide receivers taken above him. Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. Yeah. I think it's the biggest upside out of all of them because of the speed. And when you get into these big games, Spencer, NFC Championship type games, what did he do last year?
2 touchdowns.
Absolute game breaker.
Yeah.
That's what he brings. When you go up against the best, what do you need? It's absolute speed kills. That's what Jameson Williams brings to the table. And we talked about the complementing of each other. St. Brown is just so calm, cool, and collected at all times. It's so impressive to watch. Chris?
I do want to say, because I know we're going to go to break shortly, but he hasn't had super great performances each game against the Vikings. The first one was 1 reception, -4 yards. This one was subpar for him by his standards. I don't think that's a product of the Vikings per se. I think those are just 2 games. I think those are just 2 games in what is a larger sample size, which I know we're talking about here. But just curious, are you guys reading anything into that in case, the Vikings do play the Lions again in the playoffs? Are you looking at Jameson Williams potentially having some matchup problems with this Vikings secondary?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just the way the Vikings play defense. It's harder to get those late breaking routes and deep shots to Jameson Williams because they blitz so heavy and because they send so much pressure that you need to be making quick decisions by Jared Goff. And also, if you look at the interception by Goff, or not the interception, the 4th down throw by Jared Goff that was batted down at the line. That would have been a huge reception for James. He was wide open, coming across the middle of the field with nobody really that close to him. So that would have been a big gainer. And then if he gets that one, you look at the end of the day, he's got 6 receptions for 60 yards. Like, that's a pretty good game. Yeah. So, no, I think it's just a microcosm of what the Vikings like to do and how the Lions attack that, because you're going to make your money in the passing game against this Viking offense with quick hitters, with your running backs getting out there, filling in for where these linebackers blitz from. Obviously, Amon-Ra St. Brown getting alive in the middle of the field. So, no, I think it's just a matchup thing. I don't think it's the cornerbacks locking Jameson Williams down or anything. It's just the scheme you're going into the game with.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a pick your poison. What do you want to stop? And you saw Jahymr Gibbs have a career day. Yeah. Like, that's what it is to me, Chris. I think you have to choose what to stop when you're going up against this Lions team. And they took out Jameson Williams. Okay, let your running back over $170 and 4 tutties. Like, how do you want to lose? That's basically it. Because they have the best offense I think I've ever seen live.
It's the best offense I've ever seen live. Is there the graphic in there of
yes,
the offense? Just real quick before we go to break. This offense is breaking so many records, and here it is, 564 points. They had the 4th highest scoring offense in NFL history. Like I said before the season started, if Jameson Williams does what I expect him to do, and that's get over 1,000-yard receiving, the Lions are going to have one of the most historic offenses in the history of the NFL, and we're seeing it before us.
Yeah, and Sam Laporta was pretty quiet all season.
Yeah.
And now he's starting to heat up a little bit, so let's go. It's just
called me madman.
I don't think we called you madman for that one.
Speaking about Jahymr real quick, I saw some comments in the chat. Is Sam Flannel getting a jersey?
He better be.
Is that what the bet was?
That is going to happen. Look, he's on vacation right now for a couple weeks, but when he returns, we are going to do some content. He's not just getting a jersey. But we're trying to take him around to all the places that we know J-Mo's hung out. He watched the game at Aztec. He went to the Coney.
Flannel on 6 Mile?
Yeah, he just went. There was somewhere else J-Mo just was at recently.
Oh my God,
we're gonna take him to all the places, bro.
That's gonna be
J-Mo tour is gonna be awesome.
Flannel on 6 Mile is something I'm gonna need to see for sure. But shout out to Jahymr for getting over 1,000 yards. You saw the game was over at the end, right?
Yep.
But he hadn't got it yet. So they ran a couple routes for him. They got the ball in his hand so he could get that 1,000-yard mark. He got it easily in one play, and Brock Wright was so excited to try to get him that he was blocking downfield too early. Got called with the penalty, brought it back. They went right back to him, and he got it. So that just shows the coaching as well.
Yeah, and that the players are fired up for him.
Yeah.
One of the best touchdown celebrations I saw was all the boys in the end zone. Whole offense. You had the offensive line in there as well, taking the pick. You got Ragnow, mean mugging, Sewell in there. And the boys with J-Mo getting all hype, rowdy. Yeah, these guys play for each other, dude. It's so great to see.
Yeah, and Flannel's a man of principle. He pays his debts. I'm not worried about that at all. He's going to get the J-Mo jersey.
He's going to. And just one more note.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jameson Williams. Shout out to the Lions. Shout out to Kelvin Shepard. Shout out to John Kaminsky. These are just people, and there are more. Gibbs, all these guys that we see supporting the content. Jameson Williams, actually, the 1,000-yard graphic that we made to commemorate his season, he actually wound up sharing that, and several of his friends and some other people shared it as well. Yeah. So shout out to them as well.
J-Mo is for the city, man. He truly embodies what Detroit is. Like this guy, he's from the gutter, man. He's from the mud, and he is just a dog out there getting generational wealth, surviving in the city, going out, spending time in this, getting his teammates more involved in giving back to the community of Detroit. Jameson Williams has been truly a great player, a great teammate, and a great advocate for the city of Detroit. And I'm just happy for him to get this recognition and to finally have the haters shut the fuck up.
Amen. I was just going to say, shout out for shutting up all of the haters because they were attacking this kid at every single point that they could. It's like he couldn't even hand out waters.
He's like the nicest guy in the world, dude. Like J-Mo's like the nicest dude in the world.
Throwing out some hundreds to some kids,
bro.
Man,
Just likes to smoke weed, eat Coney. Yeah. And, like I love. That's what I would be doing. That's what I do. Like it's literally what I smoke weed, I eat shitty food, and I talk shit with my friends. Like J-Mo is a real one, and you can tell, man. He's a real dog like that. And shout out to Nobody for the super chat.
Shout out.
Says Kool-Aid pulling the next man up, being here late. Kool-Aid, we appreciate
shout
you.
Out, Kool-Aid.
Feeling it, brother.
Hey, I just saw the stuff because obviously Pistons right after this. Cade Cunningham, he pulled up in the J-Mo jersey.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to them.
Hell yeah, bro.
No way.
That's just good dudes, man. Cade, the Cunningham family, great dudes, great humans. Jameson Williams, great human, great dude. And real recognized real, man.
I'm going to have to try that cheese on the hot Cheeto thing.
Dude.
Never had it, but I'll try it for J-Mo.
I ate hot Cheetos and cheese literally every single day at lunch in high school. Like, every single day. I saw people like, what is this?
No, like the yellow nacho cheese, right?
Yeah, it was a Rotel.
I ruined my stomach doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Years. I loved it.
It's every day. It's what it's all about, man.
I'm going to need to try it for sure.
Shout out to J-Mo, dude. I'm happy for the
Shout out him for going on the pod, honestly. I was so great. We got to finally get some J-Mo content that we've all been dying for. He was hilarious.
The only athlete I've ever seen more visibly stoned in my life than Jameson Williams on that podcast is Kevin Durant every day. Like it's like anytime you see Kevin Durant, he's cooked out of his mind. J-Mo was fried. I love it, dude.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I love that guy. Yeah. But there is one knock I have about Jameson Williams.
Whoa.
That McFlurry burger shit is terrible, bro. Like, we tried it on air. We tried it live on air. That shit was awful. Like, just do it separately. Dip the fries in the McFlurry. That's good.
Super chats, and we'll do it again. Let's set a super chat goal. We'll do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again. That's a good one. We'll do that for tomorrow. Our super chat goal. We'll do the McFlurry, McDouble, the Jahymr burger if we get to it.
And I also saw a super chat or like a goal. Nick, dye the mustache blue. I will dye my mustache blue for the postseason run that the Lions will go on if we get to $1,000 in super chats by the end of the week.
Boom! There you go.
How much to get the heavies down to 6 Mile Coney?
I'll go down tonight.
Let's go.
Whatever.
Hey, man, you got to set a goal, though.
Yeah. I mean,
get the content and everything.
Yeah.
That'd be epic.
We'll be down there with flannel. Fuck it. All right, let's go to break. I mean, it's like I just go straight down Van Dyke and I'm there.
You want to double up?
What time is it?
Yeah, we should double up.
We should double up. Tell us about merch, Chris.
All right, first let me kick it off with merch. If you had a great, successful weekend betting on the Lions via Caesars Sportsbook and you got some money, or you forgot to get somebody that last-second Christmas present and you're still looking, go to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today. They got new Detroit shirt designs, hoodies, tees, hats, all that guaranteed to turn heads. So head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today and get yourself the best Detroit sports merch in the game. Tell us about the website.
The website, watch party, live watch party, and post-game show. Only at Hayes Social every single week. Make sure you tap in. Well, not this week because the Lions are on bye. So make sure you tap in next week for the live watch party and post-game show of the divisional round, presented by New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki Crispy Chicken Pizza, and 1800 Tequila.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where everyone, and we mean everyone, can get a full body workout in 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You can get all that for just $15 a month, or upgrade to the Black Card, which is what I have. It gets use of unlimited amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Planet Fitness, join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
All right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They've got 27 locations across the state repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations right here in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby. And if you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, get ready. New stores are coming your way soon.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights Live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. I am Spencer. He is Nick filling in for Easy. We got Kool-Aid doing Easy. Double duty today in the booth. And we got Chris, as always, in the TD booth. Appreciate everybody in the Woodward Sports chat, our tribe. G-Man DT, Danny G, David Witt, Mike K, shout out aka Hutch, shout out Hutch Jr. in the chat, DNC, ENT, Paul, all the usual suspects. I saw Keys of Wisdom in there. All you guys, we really appreciate you supporting the boys. We wouldn't be able to do it without you.
Big time.
If you haven't heard, we got a goal for these super chats.
Oh yeah.
If we get to $1,000 in super chats by the end of the week, Nick said he will dye his mustache blue.
Live on air.
So make sure you tap in and get those super chats in there if you want your comment to be put at the front of the line. Shout out to all of you guys. And Nick, I didn't even hear this because obviously after the game yesterday, after the watch party, we went right into the post-game show. That shit was rocking. Shout out to Kool-Aid for doing some troubleshooting on the phones there. We got the phones in there, and people were loving it. Who said what about Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Known Vikings dick sucker Mike Florio.
This motherfucker.
This guy. Absolute, maybe the worst take of all time. I don't know how he can come out after the game and say this about Amon-Ra St. Brown.
One that's keeping them focused. Every practice is important. But the production, his production does not justify what they paid him. It really doesn't. Now, kudos to them for not forcing the ball to the $30 million a year guy. Yeah. But the production, like 6 catches, 77 yards, he gets lost in the shuffle with Gibbs and Jameson Williams and Sam Laporta. The production isn't at the level that the compensation would suggest, but it's all the other stuff he brings to the table that maybe justifies the...
This is the worst take I have ever seen come out of somebody's mouth since Nick Wright said the Bears were going to be the NFC North champions. Mike Florio, what are we doing here? Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. And to be specific, he is 3rd in yards since last year. He is an absolute leader of this team. On offense, he blocks, and he's an absolute dog. Jared Goff is not the quarterback he is today without Amon-Ra St. Brown being his security blanket at times and being a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. Mike Florio, go shove it, because the Vikings, they got you all messed up in the head, Florio. What do you think, Spetty?
This clown Mike Florio really just said his production does not justify what they paid him on his contract. And real quick, checks notes. Amon-Ra St. Brown is 2nd in the NFL in receptions this year. Amon-Ra St. Brown is, 3rd in the NFL or 5th in the NFL in receiving yards this year. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is 3rd in the NFL in receiving touchdowns this year. So I don't know if you want him to win the Triple Crown every year, but he is going to be a first-team All-Pro receiver again in back-to-back seasons, and that doesn't justify $30 million. What the fuck are you smoking, Mike Florio? I understand that your Vikings got hurt, so your little pussy might be throbbing out there, but to say something like this is just stupid.
Ridiculous.
Just stupid. 3rd in touchdowns, 2nd in receptions, and 5th in yards. How does that production not justify getting $30 million a year? You're looking at the wrong guy, man.
Just one stat here via the Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown is just the 3rd player in Lions. In NFL history to produce 115-plus receptions and 10-plus receiving touchdowns in consecutive seasons.
Say that one more time, Kool-Aid, please.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is the 3rd player in NFL history to produce 115-plus receptions and 10-plus receiving touchdowns in consecutive seasons. And I'm telling you, when I first read it, for real, I went back and was like, oh, this is NFL history.
NFL history.
That's what he's doing.
So 3 guys that have ever played professional football have done that, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of them. But no. His production doesn't justify. That's the dumbest thing you've ever said. Stop, man. Just take the L and move on. Go back to your shitty city in Minnesota, where the fuck you live. That is just embarrassing, man. Put some respect on Amon-Ra St. Brown's name. A top 3 receiver in the NFL.
This is the worst take I've ever seen. Shout out David Witt in the Woodward Sports group chat. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Florio takes horns to the esophagus. Couldn't have said it better myself,
Could
David
not have
Witt.
said it better.
He does, absolutely. And you cannot go on a national broadcast and try to spew that bullshit.
That's just terrible.
Everybody knows that you are the biggest Viking slappy in the world. When this comes out of your mouth after the biggest game, your team choked. Get that through your head. Don't go taking that shit out on Amon-Ra St. Brown, making these wild accusations that he's overpaid. If anything, I think he's underpaid. I think it's a good contract for the Lions.
It is.
It's absolutely a steal. Mike Florio, you, sir.
Let me hear you say Florio.
Ridiculous clown.
Say Florio.
Florio.
Real quick, Chris, before we get to you, Crayons for Breakfast says, get us to 420 likes and I'll gift some memberships. Super chat. So get to 420 likes and he'll gift some memberships in the chat, and then you can get all of the cool emojis and all of the perks you get for being a Woodward Sports member. But all right, Chris, what were you going to say?
Well, look, we all saw the ass whooping that the Vikings took last night. And so, they're obviously grieving right now. And the first stage of grief is denial. And that's where they're at. That's where he's at with this. Like, he is denying that Amon-Ra is that good. He's denying that the Lions are that good. This is just a terrible, asinine, blasphemous take. Like, this is horrible.
Ridiculous.
It's horrible.
It's just ridiculous. It's lazy. And I saw Super Bowl Wilson in the Woodward Sports chat. He asked who the other two receivers were. One of them's Jerry Rice. I don't know who the other one is. I want to say it's Terrell Owens, but don't quote me on that.
And those are moderately paid, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is overpaid.
Yeah. Amon-Ra St. Brown is overpaid, though.
That's
his
where you
production
draw the
doesn't
line.
match his salary according to Florio. That's just lazy, man.
Top 3 in your profession is overpaid.
It might be Mike Evans too. What was it? 115 yards or 115 catches and how many yards?
And touchdowns.
And 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It might be Michael Thomas. I'm not sure. But this guy, Amon-Ra St. Brown, if he was the highest paid receiver in the NFL, that would be a steal. This guy is going to be the first team All-Pro again, second year in a row. Like, just tell me you're mad and talking shit, and you don't actually believe what you're saying, because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I cannot believe you go on a post-game show and spew the bullshit. That's the worst take I've seen. Mike Florio.
Okay, so we all agree he's top 5 or he's top 3 in production, right? But he is the 5th paid receiver. That sounds like value.
Great value.
Sounds like value.
What are we doing here?
Shout out to Just a Fan for 10 gifted subs in the Woodward Sports chat. Let me ask here, Nick, talk about Mike Florio for a second.
Mike Florio, you little mother effing prick. I swear. I think he is like 5'7". I don't know. I mean, he's got short man syndrome, it seems like. Mike Florio. Known Vikings jackass slappy. Mike Florio, good luck playing the Rams. I hope you get beat by 40. And to be honest, I was just kidding, because I hope you win so we can beat your ass again at home. Honestly, I'm hoping the Vikings win.
I was wrong. It wasn't Jerry Rice either. The 3 wide receivers that have done it in the history of the NFL were Amon-Ra St. Brown these past 2 seasons, Antonio Brown in 2014 and 2015, and Devontae Adams in 2020, 2021. So the 2 guys that were the best receivers in the NFL those respective years, because we know Antonio Brown, say what you want about him now in those concussions, but that dude was, if you put him in your top 5 receivers of all time, you're not going to get a lot of arguments, because he was electric. And Devontae Adams had a crazy couple of years in Green Bay, where he was the best receiver in football for multiple years. So, Mike Florio, just think about shit before you say it.
Dude, I think we should do this. Like, obviously, we got the bye week. I'm going to go back and try to find just the absolute worst takes on the Lions from the national media this season. And we can just have a field day on these goddamn pricks that getting tired of the Lions. I mean, honestly, Florio wound me up there as if I was already hype about this Lions win. Now I'm fired up. I want to play tomorrow. Honestly, I want to see the Detroit Lions team. What do you think about that Vikings-Rams game moving forward?
I think the Rams are going to beat them. Yeah. I think the Vikings are going to have to go, after getting their ass whooped bad, embarrassed and demoralized by their division rival. We know the Honolulu Blue Flu is a thing. And you got to go across the country to Los Angeles to play a Rams team that has a good front 7.
Yep.
The Rams team could get after the quarterback with the guys they got back there. Fisk, Byron Young, Jared Verse.
Yep.
They can get after the quarterback, so Sam Darnold's not going to be able to just sit back there and do what he can.
Yeah.
And obviously Matt Stafford, if you give me who do I trust to win a playoff game between Sam Darnold and Matt Stafford, I'm taking Matt Stafford.
Yeah, I think I'm with you that I think the Rams are going to win. I think I would personally rather see the Vikings again. I mean, like we talked about, I think this was like a C+ performance, I said, on this offensive side of the ball for the Detroit Lions in this game because of the turnovers. I think if we beat them again, I think we beat them by 30.
I think we would have spanked them.
Honestly,
it would have been even worse. It would have been like 41-6.
Yeah.
If we didn't give them 2 interceptions.
Jared Goff has solved Brian Flores time in and time out.
Yes, he has.
And I am not scared of this defense at all. Brian Flores, good luck coaching next year if you do land a coaching job, if you're not blackballed from the NFL because of the old stuff. But, yeah, I think at this point I would rather face the Vikings. But, yeah, I mean, I have no faith in them. But could this be a spot where, kind of like you saw Michigan and Ohio State get demoralized, you lost at home to a team you weren't supposed to?
They're going to put up a fight.
Do you think like they could bounce back from this and gain momentum?
Yeah, if the Vikings win against the Rams, I wouldn't be dumbfounded. Like, no way, not possible. But I think, like I said, all the extenuating factors of them going to the West Coast, them getting their ass whooped bad by the Lions, getting knocked around. Sam Darnold's rattled right now, and now they put it on wax. Like, the Lions just gave you a blueprint of how to fuck Sam Darnold's life up.
Yep.
And the Rams are going to be able to do that too. Like I said, they've got good pass rushers on that defensive line. So we'll see. It's not going to be a blowout like this game, but I do think the Rams, like I said, if it comes down to one possession by each team, I'm taking Stafford over Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. I think, like you said, battle tested. I mean, how would you feel if the Rams come into town again for a playoff
we're dog
matchup?
walking the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We
like
beat
it.
the shit out of either of these teams.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about these fucking scrubs beating us.
I am so happy that we got this bye, though, so some of the guys can get healthy. And obviously, all roads lead through Detroit is the biggest thing. Chris?
Yeah, I think I would rather play the Vikings just because I feel comfortable solving them. But I will say I do think it was a little bit of deer in headlights for Sam Darnold. And while I'm not expecting him to turn into a clutch performer by any means, I do think he will be a little more ready for the moment if they were to rematch the Lions in Ford Field. So I do think he would perform slightly better, and maybe he does get in the end zone once or twice. But again, like you said, Nick, this was a C+ performance from the offense, and I think that a lot of the defense can be duplicated or replicated in another matchup against the Vikings. So and we talked about too, Jameson Williams. I talked about his 2 games that were lackluster against the Vikings. I think if he gets a third crack at the Vikings, I think he does something in that game. So I feel confident about both teams. I would rather play the Vikings, even though I know there's the divisional thing. Things can get weird, but I don't see that as an issue with the Vikings, because I see if things get weird, I think that actually goes in our favor, and that's what we saw last night. So I'm comfortable either way against this Vikings team.
And shout out to the Hat and Beard Show and
Shout
Crayons
out.
for Breakfast for gifting 10 subs each in the Woodward Sports Chat. We appreciate you guys getting everybody involved. That's an awesome move, man. I mean, shout out to you guys helping everybody else. It's just random too. So if you don't get the membership, they don't get to pick. They just click 10 gifted subs and it goes to random people in the chat. So appreciate you guys for doing that and for dropping those gifted subs. Those are very important to keep this community going, to keep Woodward Sports and our community strong. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back. We'll do some mailbag questions. So get your mailbag questions in the chat. But first, let me tell you about New Holland. New Holland Brewing Company and Taller Long Drink are the best choice when you're looking to start your game day off right. It is a gin-based cocktail made with real grapefruit puree, made here in Michigan. And it's just, it's good. It's a good drink. I like it. I would choose to drink it over other drinks. So if you want some, you can go to a Total Wine near you, support local, and just enjoy the superior canned cocktail with Taller Long Drink from New Holland Brewing Company.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The bad boys from the NFL are here. your 2024 Detroit Lions are the hardest hitting, highest flying, trickiest playing, grittiest team in the NFL.
A dominant team.
Get all your coverage of your favorite team right here in your favorite network. Woodward Sports.
Again, support local and just enjoy great coffee with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order at SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. It's the best coffee in the game, so just wake up and start your day off with the best cup while supporting a Michigan company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Again, go to SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Use code word Woodward and get 25% off your first subscription order. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live here on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. For Nick, for Kool-Aid, for Chris,
Monday.
I am Spencer. It is a Victory Monday, and we got some mailbag questions in the chat here. This one's from John effing Lord. Mailbag, what are your thoughts on this Pistons game tonight? Kool-Aid, we'll look at you. You're going down there right after the game. What are your thoughts? Trailblazers in town.
You know what? Handle business. Love you, Chauncey Billups. I know that they're going to honor you tonight. I heard that the bobbleheads were gone before it even looked like 5,000 people were there. But just handle business. Kay Cunningham on this ascent right now. I know that they're without Jaden Ivey. They will be without Asar Thompson tonight. Bobby Clinton is going to be available tonight.
Really?
He's available.
Hey.
So let's see if he gets some run. We don't know yet because he's been ramping back up. But they should handle business tonight against, I think, the 7-win Portland Trailblazers and get to 500 and find themselves, honestly, I think that would move them with a loss to the team ahead of them to number 7
Let's
in
go.
the Eastern Conference.
Quick question for you, Kool-Aid. With the Portland Trailblazers struggling so much and the Pistons right there around 500, is this a must-win?
It's to me, yes. In the grand scheme of things, no.
Yeah.
Obviously. But do you want to see them go out there and handle business? Yes. I was disappointed after Utah Jazz lost, and then they went out there and just started punching all the other teams in the face after that. So I want to temper how I will feel if they do catch an L tonight. But you want to see him go out there and just handle business, man. And see Kay Cunningham continue this all-star trek. And I believe that with Ivy out, we're going to see a little bit more of Kay scoring the ball, putting pressure on the offense, on the defense that way as well.
Oh, yeah. Chris?
I know we're focused on tonight, Clay, but we got after that, we got Brooklyn, we got Golden State, Toronto. Very winnable games. Pistons are entering a very winnable stretch of basketball coming up. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. I think this is a team that could definitely go out. But as we know, the Portland game last year was the game where all the misfortune started, the losing streak started. They had that game in the bag, and then they let it go, and that ended up spiraling. So this is a little bit of poetic justice, and they get to put in a song tonight. So I'm excited to see how they do it.
Shout out. And, yeah, we looked at this schedule. When I looked at it, I was like, they could very realistically win 6 of their next 8 games, and they're on the pace to do that. They got to take care of business. They already knocked down some big wins already. So this is one you should go out there and you should beat the Trailblazers.
Cade Cunningham, absolute superstar. Like, this is what we've all seen it because we all, watch the Pistons, but for, people that really don't watch it every single day, they're finally seeing it for the first time. It's a must-watch basketball team right now. They are fun to watch for the first time in a long time, and that's because of Cade Cunningham and the job that this coaching staff has done. And we talked about him a lot in the preseason, the shooting coach. He's just changed.
Fred Vincent.
Yeah, Fred Vincent. Dude, these guys are making a bunch of threes now. That's so great to see.
Rod Holland's sneakily shooting well from 3.
Sneakily. Yeah.
Sneakily.
I'll take it. I love that dunk the other night.
I love Rod Holland.
He didn't settle for the 3. He went to the rim hardcore and attacked it. Real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out. I know this is a massive day for Detroit sports. Shout out Easy, get well. And thank you guys, Chad, for welcoming me on such a big day for Detroit Lions history to be able to talk about this with you guys. Just want to say thank you.
Shout out to you, Nick. You held it down, man. Always appreciate sharing the desk with you, unlike somebody else. No, I'm just kidding. But,
eat shit, buddy.
But this Pistons team, man, you're right. They're fun to watch. JB Bickerstaff has these boys playing good ball, man. Good ball, great defensively, sound. You got Cade Cunningham leading this team as the superstar that he truly is. So shout out to them. And shout out to the Red Wings. 4 wins in a row for the first time this season. Another team that has been revitalized since Tom McClellan has taken over. The Top Father has these guys playing fucking hockey. And they're playing fucking hockey, man. You love to see it. 4 wins in a row. They're fun to watch. They're playing hard. The vets are playing hard. Kane, Sherratt, Mott, Kopp. These guys look like new players. Veleno has played very well on that first line. It's just impressive to see what these changes can do and what a sound mind, a veteran guy, a 16-year NHL veteran coming in here and telling these guys, hey, listen, I win games in the NHL. You're going to do what I say, and they're going to listen to him. So shout out to the Todd Father.
Yes.
And, quick shout out to Team USA. World Juniors, back-to-back championships.
Who's their goalie?
Trey Augustine, Spartan Dog, future Red Wing Hall of Famer Trey Augustine. So shout out to the boys of the World Juniors, Team USA getting it done.
Speaking about a big game coming up, talking about a must-win possibly. The Red Wings hosting the Senators, who I believe is our rival at this point.
They kind of are.
Current rival. You know, obviously
sure.
you'll always have the Colorado Avalanche, but current rival in my eyes for, the dirty hits on Larkin, and you think about all the history recently, you find a way to win this game. You're chasing them in the standings. This could be a really big win for the Red Wings, and they've been playing really good hockey, so I'm excited to watch.
They're going to walk away with 2 points, and the Senators aren't going to walk away with a point. Seeing what they did in Winnipeg, like that, that's the best team in the NHL. You just went and you beat the Jets. Yeah. So that is such a good win to see on paper, man. And you got the Senators now. Take care of business. Ottawa, they're not a slouch by any means. They're a good team too. They're right around the same level as you are. Yep. A lot of teams that are trying to make that jump into being contenders. Ottawa, one of those teams. The Red Wings, one of those teams. So you go out there, go out there and take care of it. It's in Ottawa, right?
Nope, at home.
At home was tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, well.
76,000 subscribers.
76,000 subscribers. Shout out to you guys for helping us get there. Woodward Sports would be nothing without the people. We truly appreciate you guys. Cash. Make sure you smash that like button. For Nick, for Kool-Aid, for Chris, I'm Spenny. We're the Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Go with